In 100 years, Earth will be a place that's both familiar and totally different. Imagine waking up one morning and looking out of your window, only to see flying cars zooming around like it's no big deal. No more traffic jams, no more honking horns, just silent cars gliding through the air. It's something we've dreamed about for years, but by 2124 it might finally be reality. And you won't even need to drive them. They'll drive themselves, which means more time for you to sip your coffee while enjoying the view from way up high. But let's not stop there. The cities themselves will look completely different. Skyscrapers will be so tall that the top floors will be above the clouds. Imagine living in an apartment where you can't even see the ground. And don't worry about elevators. They'll be faster than ever, probably taking you to the 500th floor in a matter of seconds. And because space on Earth will be more limited, these cities will expand not just upwards, but out over the oceans too. Floating cities? Oh yeah, that'll be a thing. Now let's talk about food. If you think fast food is quick now, wait until you see what's coming. No more farms filled with crops or animals grazing in the fields. In the future, food will be grown in labs. Yep, your burger might not even come from a cow. Instead, scientists will create the perfect burger in a lab, and it'll taste just as good, if not better. And for those who can't live without their veggies, no worries. Those will be grown in vertical farms, towering greenhouses where plants grow indoors, stacked on top of each other. It's the future, and yes, even salads will be high-tech. Speaking of high-tech, let's not forget about homes. Houses will be smarter than ever. You'll wake up in the morning and the coffee will already be brewing. Your home will adjust the temperature, open the blinds, and maybe even pick out your clothes for the day based on the weather. Feeling a bit stressed? Your house might suggest some relaxing music and dim the lights automatically. In the future, even your house will know you better than you know yourself. And what about school? No more heavy backpacks filled with books. Kids in the future will just wear virtual reality headsets and step into a world where learning comes to life. Want to learn about ancient Egypt? Just put on the headset and boom, you're walking around the pyramids talking to pharaohs. No more boring textbooks. Learning will be an adventure every day. Of course, not everything will be fun and games. Climate change will have made its mark, so summers might be hotter and winters might be colder. Some places we know today could be underwater, and new technologies will be essential to help us cope with these changes. Floating cities will save the day for those living near the ocean, and advanced technology will help us keep the planet clean, or at least, cleaner than it is now. We'll have to be more careful with how we treat Earth, and recycling and renewable energy will be more important than ever. But don't get too worried, because humans will find a way. We always do. And speaking of finding a way, by 2124, humans will have made their way to other planets. Mars? We'll have colonies there. The Moon? Probably a popular vacation spot by then. Space won't be just for astronauts anymore. It'll be for tourists too. Fancy a weekend getaway on the Moon? No problem. In fact, in 100 years, traveling to space might be as common as hopping on a plane today. Now what about people? Well, humans won't change too much. Sure, we might live longer. Medicine will be so advanced that living to 120 or 150 could be the norm. And with all that extra time, who knows what people will do? Start a second career, learn new skills, maybe even go back to school at 100 years old. But we'll still have the same quirks we do today, laughing at silly jokes, arguing about which pizza topping is the best, and avoiding doing the dishes even when the dishwasher is right there. Robots, on the other hand, will change everything. They'll be in our homes, helping with chores, and in our workplaces, doing jobs humans don't want to do. And no, they won't take over the world. Fingers crossed. Instead, they'll just make life easier. You might even have a robot friend, one that plays video games with you or helps you cook dinner. Just imagine asking a robot, "Hey, can you help me fold this laundry?" And it does it perfectly. No more mismatched socks. And fashion? Well, we won't be walking around in shiny silver jumpsuits like the movies might have led us to believe. Fashion will still be a big part of life, but our clothes will be way smarter. Think about shoes that adjust to fit your feet perfectly, or jackets that change color depending on your mood. You won't even need to shop for new clothes. You can just change how they look with the push of a button. So in 100 years, what will Earth be like? It'll be a mix of the familiar and the new. Some things will stay the same, like our love for good food, laughter, and spending time with friends and family. But other things, like flying cars, robot helpers, and vacations in space, will be things we can barely imagine now. It'll be a wild, exciting world, full of surprises and new possibilities. And who knows? Maybe 100 years from now, someone will look back at us and think, wow, they had no idea what was coming.